The DP chair, Lul Zimbasha, gave a press release saying the majority are attempting a coup d'etat in the way Rama is treating the president's decree regarding the June 30 annulment. The president's decree will be decided upon by the Electoral College, while the CEC has rejected the request of the National Unity Party for deregistration from the June 30th elections. All those who have purchased or built an apartment after being married will now be able to register co-ownership of the property title, and the process can be undertaken without any need to pay a fee. It's 6 o'clock on Thursday, the 13th of June 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to RTV Ora's English edition. My name is Alexandra, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. Political leaders continue to be in diametrically opposite attitudes. DP Chair Lul Zimbasha reiterated today that he will not sit at a table with Edi Rama as long as he is in charge of the government. According to the opposition chair, Prime Minister Edi Rama is trying to hold a coup d'etat on the 30th of June. At a conference with journalists called today, Basha said citizens should give up any illusion that there will be an alternative solution, stating that the only way to stop what he calls a coup is to unite the population. When questioned if he had asked the president to dissolve the parliament, he replied, "I have not, and I ask nothing from the president of the republic. This is because I do not believe that the resolution to this crisis can come from actions taken by the president of the republic." Edi Rama has said he does not care about the constitution, the courts, the justice system, or about our international friends, because he is a man caught in crime and captured by crime. Therefore, the only force that can stop the ultimate collapse of this society under the tyranny of crime and corruption with its antagonist leader, Edi Rama, is with a united force, said Basha. He referred to today's session in the Assembly and the initiative the majority is discussing in the Assembly as theatrical performance aimed at drawing attention away from the coup Rama is planning for June 30th. June 30 is officially no longer a constitutional election date. From a political point of view, to continue to hold these elections constitutes a coup d'etat. I invite you, in these difficult moments, to distinguish the theatre of propaganda. The way to win the ultimate battle, to not allow narcotics to triumph over democracy through a coup d'etat, is to be unstoppable, concluded Basha. The President of the Republic, Ilir Meta, has held a meeting with the US Vice Ambassador to Albania, Leila Moses-Onis, that lasted more than 1.5 hours. The US diplomat's meeting with the President comes at a time when the political crisis continues to deepen in the country, following the President's decision to withdraw his decree for June 30 as the date for the local election. It is not known what was discussed between the pair, but what is known is that the head of state, at a press conference 2 days ago, was critical as to how diplomats translated the Constitution of the Republic of Albania. He made mention of the international representatives who referred to the Constitution when recommending that elections be held on the given date. Via a status on Facebook, the head of state stressed the need for Albania to reflect and maximise responsibility from all political actors. The President also warned of missing the historic opportunity to take a step forward towards Europe. Let's make every effort to ensure we don't disrupt the progress of our neighbour country, North Macedonia. The opening of accession negotiations as soon as possible is a historic obligation for all those who want Albania as Europe, concluded Meta's post. The National Unity Party is the first political force to express the desire to pull out of the election following President Meta's decree to abolish the elections on June 30th. The chairman of this political force asked the Central Election Commission to deregister the list of councillors in the 61 municipalities, considering the situation as unacceptable. "We request deregistration as an electoral subject. We want to remove the name of our party from the ballot paper. The decree of Meta has surprised us. Really, the decree has surprised us. It was kind of a shock. I consider it unconstitutional. My vote does not dominate there, but I am obliged to submit to the will of the party. We want to deregister from the elections and we regret that we have to take such action. We are not a big party, but today we have 15 municipal councillors all over Albania," said the chair of the National Unity Party, Idayet Bachiri. The request brought opposition from the Socialist Party representative. "You cannot withdraw from the elections." They asked to remove the name from the ballot paper, which would block the process. "If this request is accepted, there will be no time to redo the ballots before the vote," said Eridian Saliani, an SP representative. This was the first appeal brought to the meeting, and the chair of the Central Election Commission, Clement Zuguri, stressed that the presidential decree is now into force. Personally, I do not want to deal with the power or the right of the President to issue a decree. I do not think I am the Constitutional Court or the Administrative Court to see legality. It is a decree that is placed in the official notebook and has received legal force. The CEC should terminate its own procedures for organising the June 30th election after the decree has taken effect and is placed in the official notebook. However, the representatives of the majority at the CEC again reiterated that they consider the decree as null and void, causing Zaguri to reiterate that he could not chair the commission given the conditions and left the meeting. The National Unity Party's request was overturned with 4 votes on the grounds that the ballot papers have already been approved. But this opens the way to review the case at the Electoral College, as the request for deregistration will automatically affect the presidential decree, which has already entered into force. The chair of the National Unity Party, Idayat Betray, told RTV Ora that he will present the complaint immediately after the unveiling of the decision from the Commission. The State Property Registrar will begin to revise asset certificates, giving spouses the right to co-own assets created after marriage. With this objective in mind, a special order was adopted that would create the possibility of correcting mistakes. All interested can now appear at the agency to make a request, and it should be noted that no fees apply for this. The order excludes the possibility of adding spousal co-ownership for properties purchased prior to the date of marriage. Consumption of hookahs poses a high risk to health. Health specialists warn that they do have nicotine content, which can cause cancerous diseases. In our country, the demographic most likely to partake in consuming hookahs are young people. Therefore, the Ministry of Health is drafting a law aimed at minimising the use of hookahs, electronic cigarettes and tobacco. The new law, which is expected to be adopted soon by the Assembly, provides for penalties 6 times higher for allowing smoking indoors and the suspension of activity for entities that do not comply with the new rules. Referring to the Centres for Disease Control and Prevention, at least 1 in 5 boys and 1 in 6 girls in the world have declared they have consumed hookahs. The Socialist Party candidate for Tirana Municipality, Erion Veliai, has promised, if elected for a second term, the construction of a special hall for the purpose of ball sports such as volleyball and basketball. During a meeting with the girls of the basketball team Tirana, recently declared the champions of Albania, Veliai spoke about the ambition to serve the sport and to encourage young people to participate. I believe what we did with the Olympic Park should now be the way all new sport premises should be. We have a concept and we will present in the coming days the new Palace of Sport. Indeed, the Olympic Park is good for these kinds of activities, but if you need to do more mega activities, you'll need to have a good sports hall, which has a capacity for an audience of 4,000 to 5,000 people and underground parking, said Veliai. Veliai also brought to attention the investments made in this 4-year mandate by the municipality of Tirana. In the municipality, we started to make a revolution, initially opening sport so that it's not just a monopoly of some groups. Today, there are 62 gyms with girls and boys that try not only to be physically fit, but also to learn how to play in a team, said Erion Veliai. The coach of the basketball club team Tirana, Erdal Borova, praised the trophy won by the girls of Tirana, while the president of the club, Arbor Kadia, said that it is now up to the municipality of Tirana and other institutions of the country to give sport greater attention. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of RTV Ora, thank you and good night.